Hey guys, Lucid, we're back.
Oof.
Turn 35. Let's see what we got going on. Ooh, Roos is attacking me. I don't think I gave proper respect to these skin shifters. They're pretty gnarly. Okay. It's fine. Our god is up, so I can show you our god. Oh, we found a mercury pond. Fuck yeah, that's a water 2 site. Okay. Alright. Dude, Roos, you're attacking me while the throne rush is happening? So, like, if I go to stop the throne rush, you're gonna try to run on my cap?
I can see. We can see hostilities for now.
Wait, sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I was eating a sandwich and had the mic further away.
A word.
We can cease the hostilities for now.
Okay, you gonna move back out of 161 then?
61, yes.
Yeah. Okay, 0 PD?
Yes, it currently has 0 PD.
Alright, here's our god. What we need to do. What can we do with fire? Solar eclipse, which I don't need. I also have astral. I think we're gonna just spam out. I think we're gonna move here and site search first. How close are we? God, we're so far away. Hey, what's the situation on 90? Somebody moving in? Vanheim?
He has it. To let that be the thing, or be the maintain. I don't intend for that to be.
All right, you got plans. What you're trying to say?
Yes.
All right.
Not this turn, but
Not this turn. All right. All right, guys, we're gonna have to just man up.
that's symbolics.
These are not very good against ghosts, mind you, but you know, what are we gonna do? Game is about to be over. So we just have to man fight over this way. Let's get all these up to 6. This is not good, guys. This is not good. Not good at all. Ashes to ashes. We'll see. I'm not feeling very good about this, guys. Not feeling very good about this at all. Guess we'll do double choppy. And we'll have her do quickness. Or we'll have her move in maybe kind of close to the centaurs. Okay, you're gonna search.
I'm gonna need a few extra minutes for this turn.
All right, we should be set. 10 minutes.
Yeah, it should be plenty.
Will this be the last turn?
No, probably not.
I don't know. I mean, the two neighbors of 90. It seems like Vanheim's waiting a turn, and I'm definitely waiting a turn. So, if Theodore claims it this turn, then it's probably game.
I don't see his pretender there, and we have confirmation from others that last turn, or the turn before, it was moving out of 85. I don't think they could have gotten there this turn, so...
Okay. I mean, I hope you're right. Okay. We'll go ahead and get another... God, I kind of could use one of these guys. Let's do one of them. Get my Astral going, in case this game drags out. I'm so behind from that, getting ganked like that. But honestly, the guy who rushed my cap is even worse off than me. And he's really responsible for this whole mess. I mean, I love him, but it's true. I mean, I get trying to rush me, and it kind of worked, but not really. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad play rushing me. Because, like, if you're going to get a 2v1, it could work. It's just, he kind of got outplayed a little. But then I kind of lost my shit over here. Let's have you preach or something. You can wait. Alright, you guys come over here. Okay, yeah, they can help with swarm casting. Okay, we're going to site search just because we can. Here, we're going to patrol. Our Mother Oakcaster is going to blood hunt. We're going to give her some bodyguards, though. You are going to make Sanguine Dowsing Rods. And I do need to, I got a ton, man, I've just been so sloppy. I've got a ton of Earth Gems I gotta spend too. So you, let's make boots. Do I have any other Earth guys? Well, y'all are all moving out. There's been one clusterfuck. Moving on to the next. Not getting 2v1 would be great. Normally people don't want to rush Dryads. I think if I think if I had more... Ugh. I didn't really have a lot of my assassin items online.
Star Citizen 3.6 apparently. Behold.
How's the TNG Abyssia war going? Like, what's happening up there?
Abyssia is basically done.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Preparing last stand.
Just tons of assassinations.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause. Hey, we're talking about this
So,
throne
yeah,
situation
obviously-
here, and somebody was noticing that when we voted on the map, there were like, there were only 2
6
underwater thrones? Yeah. But I think because
Yep,
there are
there's
more
the- so on the map
thrones,
you voted on.
it just randomly added some. So that was kind of... Okay, that's it, game.
Yeah, sorry, I had Boots of Flying to get my profit there quicker.
Yeah,
Hey, good game.
good game, guys.
Right.
That, yeah.
Well, Sir Toma, I hope it was worth to nap any of us again.
Yeah, I'd be salty too.
There's 2 unforted thrones. What was it going to do?
Yeah, so Thermo, tell us what you were thinking the last like 10 or 15 turns.
To be honest, after expansion, I was basically just sitting around and picked up the 2 of the thrones in the water, and then was trying to figure out how I could get the one in the Little Lake, and then get one of Vanheim's on approximately the same turn. I was hoping one of the extra Holy 3 heroes would pop up and would let me do it, because I could make Shale Mail Horbucks. So that's why I think Vanheim didn't see my profit in 90 when he pinged it with a scout when I was patrolling out scouts. Because I just snuck it in with a Shade Mail because I have the Death Air crosspath. But yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to do that, but one didn't pop up, so it just took a couple extra turns to fly it over. And I figured given you guys were beating each other to death, there was not going to be a lot of resistance.
Yeah, that was pretty true.
I had a sizable force there.
What did you have there?
There was like 20 Sacreds, 3 Van Jarls, and a couple of other Van things, from what I remember.
It was more than that. There were about 20. No, the 20 Sacreds is right. I had about 8 commanders there, and I think.
Did you have magic weapons? I forget.
Yeah, I had.
He did, yes.
With, spears who were set to fly on the back line.
So what? I didn't see that battle. What happened there with that? Because that seems like it was a pretty important battle.
Basically, I had, I think, like 5 Melias with great swords, braces of protection, and I don't know, the lion pelt things, which basically just went around trying to whack cavalry, but I think Ghosts got most of them, to be honest. And the Therodian Sacreds cleave through a lot of stuff as well. I don't have the report, so I can't check for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing with Van Heers is when they go berserk, then their defense is shit. So they take a lot of damage, if you can get through the protection.
Yes, I'm pretty sure today, I don't know what I took as a bless, but I was Strength of Giantsing everyone up. And then for that last turn there, I had basically mass Earth Elemental and Water Elemental spam coming out with enough gems to do it for 4 or 5 battles in case you guys ritual attack.
Nice. Yeah, no ritual attacks for me. Pangea is pretty not doing that. All right, Brecken, Sky, tell us about? Did you see it coming? Or was it a complete surprise the turn it happened? No, because you were talking in the chat about like, hey, did you mean to attack me? But other things. So
yeah, he pinged the throne the turn before. I was like, hey, we have a nap, right? You never canceled that.
Oh, okay. So that's what that was. That's the province. The province was the throne getting pinged.
Yeah. And I had of Vans in 20, which were within sailing range of 90. So, that's one of the reasons I built the fort there, is so that way I could one turn reinforce 90 from 20 via sailing.
See, I forgot about the sailing. I didn't realize that's how you got the extra troops in. I thought you'd waddled them in from the neighboring province. Or they were stealthed in...
Wait,
So I was like, hey, one, we have a nap. I expect you to hold that nap, because I would hold that nap.
And he was like, yeah.
But in addition to that...
He's like completely planning on breaking the nap next turn. He was like, yeah. Oh, I love that.
I mean, in addition to that, I also sent over just about everything in 20 to 90.
Oh, so you were suspicious. You were like, you saw the throne ping. You weren't like, we're going to let it sit there. You were like, I'm going to send everything I got.
Yeah, I sent just about everything from 20 over to 90. And I had 10 commanders, and the Vans, the Van Heers and the Van Herses, they're all sacred. Or they all have priest levels. So I was spamming the shit out of Stellar Cascades.
Oh, not banishment?
He means banishment. He means banishment.
Oh, okay. Banishment, good.
Banishment.
And that did a fair amount of damage. How many ghosts did you lose? Because you had like,
That-
what,
that
100
number-
after the battle? How many did you go in with?
I lost. I think I went in with 180ish. I lost a lot of ghosts, but I didn't. I don't think I lost any sacred.
What was your bless? I didn't even see.
Oh
Well-
shit! I can't check it now, can I?
No.
Hold on. Let me. Fudge. Basically resists. So I had shock res, fire res, minor cold, plus defense, undying, 3, blood surge, and what did I take out of astral? I think magic resistance out of astral.
Okay.
Basically just rainbow resists plus some defense.
Well, there you go.
I was surprised
Did you
that
have
I
any key
somehow had more
research
income
like
than all
for
of
that? Like, did you have
had
kind of
all-
timed research?
I was a couple turns off actually. I was hoping to do it with Conj 5 and Enchantment 6 because that lets me summon the all of your Earth Research Forger dudes can spend 2 Earth Gems to summon basically 10 super tanky elite skeletal but not quite undead
Yeah.
with magic weapons and great
So
stats
Earth Teeth
infantry.
is so
But
good. Holy shit. That is a
that
good
was,
spell. And they have magic weapons.
Yeah. So I was hoping to do that, but then you guys started to make peace, and I was like, ah, shit. So I kind of moved it to. I had literally nothing. Like the first battle, when I took it, was buffing up Melias and Strength of Giants, seeing Sacreds. That was it.
That's funny. So you saw like us making peace and you're like, oh shit, I gotta move before Vanheim gets his forces built back up.
Yeah, well, I figured like if he was going to piece up, I knew the first thing he would do would be reinforce those thrones most likely, and then maybe switch to taking a piece out of Abyssia as he.
All right, Brecken Sky, what was your thought process on like lack of fort on that throne? Because you had commanders there. I was thinking about raiding it a lot, but then I didn't. Because I saw you had commanders there. I was like, oh, he's definitely forting it. I should raid it. But then I always had something else I wanted that commander to do. Like that was going to raid it.
That commander there was literally just sitting there. Was I have naps with literal everyone except for you. So terribly worried about everything, but since I heard about Therados taking all of the then I was like, okay, I need to at a bare minimum get a bunch of forces on 20 so that way I can sail over to 90 if he pings it. Which I did, and it didn't work. It was the like I had a fair bit on 90 for just like having all of my commander sail over. So like it was of like the it looks like I have low PD, but I'm elves and I actually have some stuff there. So like catch a raiding party. Basically.
Okay, so I want to go through the graphs with everybody now. Are y'all cool with that?
Yep.
All right, so everybody pull up score graphs. Let's click through them. So first of all, let's start with provinces. And I just want to point out that Therados... So, okay, it seemed like Therados snuck a throne brush.
Time to the turn timer so that it doesn't kill the game.
Okay, 1 second. Oh, nice, he pasted them. Okay, we got 50 minutes. We're not gonna need all that time, but we got it. I'm feeling a little buzzed from my rum, guys. That was a strong rum on the rocks, or whiskey on the rocks I poured. Okay, so one thing is, it felt like Therados kind of snuck a throne win. But if we look at provinces, Therados was just climbing. Like, they were clearly ahead of us in provinces by the end. You guys there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the third one kind of shows it a bit better, but because a lot of the
for the
C-ROMs
forts?
are pretty worthless. No, the income, but I was like, I occupied and then took the thrones and then started taking some a couple
So
provinces from it.
you were the income leader as Therados at the end. Like, how the hell does that happen? You weren't even that much
Yeah,
bigger than us.
that's what I found shocking.
How did that happen?
Y'all go on the big lake.
My Dominion, probably.
Oh, you didn't
Like,
have
I
your
had-
Dominion spread?
I had Pan's Dominion was in your Dominion was in the eastern part of the lake, so I had
Yeah.
a couple of Celt provinces that produced some money there. Otherwise, Teen Cheese Dominion was in the southern part of the lake for a long time as well, which also helped. There's not a lot. There's a couple of big provinces there. That was about it, though.
Yeah.
It was also a 16 province lake, so either way, with at 15 provinces per player, Theranos had an advantage with that regard because the lake was bigger.
Yeah,
I think
it was
I also-
a good map for Theranos. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
It was
So
a
with the
very
extra-
good map for Theranos.
with the extra
especially
throne, it
with the
definitely
extra
was.
throne. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, without that throne, it was probably more fair because I would have needed to have taken both of Van Heim's thrones at the end there. But also,
Yeah.
that would have been very possible given the state everything seemed to be in.
Who wouldn't
Yeah.
have taken 45?
Yeah, we weren't going to get
Oh, okay.
90 from you terribly soon, I don't think. Like, I was going to try, but I don't think I would have succeeded.
You had like 240 Menhirs and Centaurs, right? And
I had a few Holy Threes we were going to banish, but...
Yeah, I think you would have struggled to deal with the Sacreds most likely because they're very killy.
I mean, I probably would have struggled. I was going to make about like 500 bugs, but I don't think that would have been enough.
I have poison res, so they don't actually do any damage.
Well, the way the bugs
To the
work
Sacreds.
is the change they made. So they nerfed Swarm, and the nerf was it used to be there were two types of bugs. There were bugs that did 1 damage, and there were bugs that did 1 armor negating damage. And the change they made was they made it for the bugs that made 1 armor negating damage. Now they did 1 armor negating poison damage. So you can still take 1 damage from bugs, but like if you're poison resistance,
Yeah, no. So like all my
yeah.
ghosts have poison res 25, and
Right.
everything else is sacred and has poison res 10.
right? But if you didn't have like protection on them, because a lot of your guys are 0 protection, you would still take the 1 damage from the normal bugs. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
But you're ethereal, so that doesn't hit that often. Okay, so we looked at income, so that was shocking and interesting. Theranos wins with the most income. Gym income, it looks like TNC and I were kind of tied for a while for being first. And then by about mid-game, by about turn 20 maybe, Theranos just jumps ahead, and there was one turn where you got probably like 10 gyms. I don't know if you see that jump in the middle, where you just jumped ahead of TNC.
The lake had quite a few sites,
Yeah.
but I started site searching quite late, so it took a while
Yeah.
to get them under.
And by the end, you were, even once I put Mother Oak and there was a nice jump for me, like you were still significantly ahead of me in terms of gems, so. And then research, I was really surprised to see I was in the lead. I was not expecting that. I was like bitching about that in the game. I was like, God, my research sucks because I'm getting double teamed. I'm having to use all my dryads and stuff. And I'm having mages die all over the place. It turns out I was number 1 in research.
Yeah, I had to stop producing mages for a few turns just to get stuff forwarded and labbed, so that I could actually defend the underwater thrones in case someone came at me. And then obviously I was using a lot of melees to clear stuff rather than research, and a lot of guys for forging their gear.
Yeah, and then Dominion Theranos was really strong too. They were like, I had the highest apparently, but I felt like I'm really surprised on that too, because I really felt like I was struggling with Dominion the whole game. Like, keep my Dominion, which was like good scales in my provinces. But Theranos had like really high Dominion, so like the story, I guess it was from the thrones, because like the story of them not trying to actually push their Dominion, well, they had a really high Dominion. In terms of the wars, what do y'all think from looking at the army graph?
You were getting crushed at the end there, something huge.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was getting double teamed. But I mean, I was actually rebounding at the end. Like, you see that jump up at the end? That was actually okay. But all my White Centaur were kind of dead, so it was mostly Miniads.
Pan's army size graph is always really deceptive because they have minions.
Yeah.
And so, like, you see those big swingy graphs, and you're just like, well, how much of that is, like, stuff I don't care about versus how much of that is centaurs? You can't really see where the centaurs die.
Yeah. That one battle against Professor JB where I lost all those centaur, that just crushed my spirit. That was such a setback. I was really thinking I'd win. If I had other guys, I think if I had cast Swarm with everybody I had that could have come to that province that had nature gems, I would have won that fight. And if I won, that would have been a huge deal. But I got my shit wrecked. That was like my one regret of the game. My big regret.
Yeah, that would have taken me out of the game.
Yeah.
I
mean, not
think
really. Like, both of you guys could have made peace with me anytime. Like, that's the thing. When you're in a 2v1, like, the first person to make peace, it's so easy. And then the second person, like, if they get... Like, the second person to try to make peace, it may not be... The other person may be like, well, now it's a 1v1. I want this. Which may have been... It was, if you had made peace with me, Professor JB, then I would have been like, I'm not making peace with Van. Because I had, like, kind of been probing you a little bit in private chat.
Yeah.
But if Van made peace with me, I was still wanted to make peace with you after I lost those White Centaur. But before I lost it, I probably would have kept pushing.
Because there were only two of us on your border, so you're either fighting one or the other.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was stuck, either way, I was stuck in the hard position of, like, I share two borders with Pan. Like, that means that I basically have to eat Pan if I want to get big and contest the win. And so I was looking for just about any excuse to go to war with.
Well, who was on your eastern border? Or your western border, sorry, to your left.
Abyssia. But Abyssia had failed expansion a lot and was basically literally just like, please, dear Lord, nap me. And I was like, you got it, friendo.
Yeah, to be honest, I think that was surprisingly impactful in the game. Like, because he failed to expand toward the south for so long, I was able to snag 4 quite solid land provinces to start actually churning out sacreds and major.
Yeah.
And I think my thought process was, okay, Abyssia is very weak right now. That's probably not going to change if after a war with Pan, if I win. So I wanted to focus on 2v1ing the threat that I know is going to be very hard to take down, trying to 1v1 Abyssia, and then getting like we had a really short nap for a reason. Like there's a reason why I was like nap 2.
Yeah.
What I wanted.
I think one of the turning points in the game was like after you lost your stack on my cap. I think at that point, if we had made, and you were open to peace, it's just we didn't get the terms right. But I think if we had made peace, then I think the game could have gone, because that was like you lost a fair amount of raiders after that point too. Like I killed at least 15 Vans probably after that, or Van Heers. But like if we had made peace at that point, I feel like the game might have gone in a different direction. I think that was kind of like a weird turning point.
If you and I had made peace at that point, and it was like an actual, like, okay, this failed for me, I need to actually recoup, I would have focused on infrastructure, and those forts would have been forted, or those thrones would have been forted for Salty about just all of those seduction assassinations working.
And, you know, when y'all watch the video, you'll see me bitching about, like, God damn it, why won't he take the steal? But, like, it's easy for me, I think, to, like, blame that on Brecken Sky and be like, hey, he should have, like, forted that throne and made a nap with me. But I think also, too, I was being a little greedy. Like, if I recognized the fact that the game, like, was going to be, which I did, because I said it, you know, like, that if somebody gets 90 because Vanheim's weak, then the game's over. Or if Theridos does, then the game's over. Like, I probably should have just, like, what was 34 to me, which was the province we were arguing over. Like, you know, like, we probably could have come to an agreement. We were just both being prideful. And then I think that was, like, this first step, or maybe not the first step, like, the second step and would have led to, 90 being just up for grabs.
Yeah, when you guys were debating peace, I was like, okay, crap, they're going for peace. In that case, I'll, consolidate, build up, sit tight and do a bunch of research, eat a bit of Abyssia. But that all broke down, so I was like, okay, let's just waddle over a bunch of...
Okay, what did you guys think about the metagame, like the settings and all that? I mean, obviously we already talked about the throne with the fact that we thought there were 2, but we ended up getting 3 water thrones. Did y'all think, like, otherwise the throne settings were good? Like 4 out of 8 for a Blitz?
Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah, that was good. I think it ended at had there not been a 3rd throne underwater, it may have gone for another 10, 15 turns, which would...
Yeah. I think it would have been fun to have, like, some real ghost battles, because I think a lot of us got magic weapons, so it would have been... I didn't even realize how much you were in slot number 1. Like, I realized that at the time everybody knew you were a throne rush threat, but I don't know, did anybody know that they were really almost number 1 in every single score graph?
I saw a lot of his troops on my borders, so I wasn't like...
I wasn't expecting to be first at income or really research. I would have expected like Teen Chi or someone to have much better research than I did.
Yeah.
Army size, I'm not that surprised. Like I was churning out 20 sacreds a turn basically for most of the game after the expansion phase. Okay, closer to probably 15, but yeah.
Yeah. TNG? Abyssia? Do y'all want to say anything about y'all's conflict? I think we've kind of focused on Therados, Vanheim, and Pan, just because that was what was involved in kind of the last throne. But what I guess what was a short summary of the war from each of y'all's perspectives?
Assassinations.
Yep. Like you can use him tactically for good results if you place assassins like before he moves his armies and just kill off 1 or 2 commanders each turn. But eventually it like loses its results.
Yeah.
First 2 or 3 turns it's very effective, and then it's like goes down.
Yeah, I lost a lot of dryads.
Speak for yourself, man.
I was
Literally
ready though. I had dryads fucking everywhere.
Every commander I sent
Everywhere.
in Japan had 5 bodyguards.
Everyone.
I'm just like, what the hell?
I had like, you guys only know about the dryads you ran into. I had dryads literally everywhere. But what I found out by the end was that those skin shifters, if they were bodyguards, like, forget about it. The Vans, it was a trade. It was like, who's going to win? And it would depend on a bunch of things. But, man, if I ran into this, like, 3 skin shifter, which every time I assassinated somebody, they had 3 skin shifter bodyguards. And if that was the case, just forget about it. They're dead.
Yeah, I only lost 3 commanders to the assassinations. But they were all very expensive commanders.
Yeah. If I had items, like the fact it was a 2v1 meant I couldn't really, I was so stretched I couldn't really make assassination items. If I had those, I think it would have gone differently.
And I think that's why JB and I were so keen to team up on you early. It was like, we don't want you to get your assassination machine going. But I just wish there was more that I could do against assassinations than put 5 bodyguards in prey.
Yeah, assassinations are kind of bullshit. But they just need to fix the AI. I've put it in the thing. But if you guys want to go in and in the wish list, just if people independently add, mod command for no like AI don't cast or whatever, that'd be really helpful. Because then my mod, I could update it like overnight and it would work perfectly. If there's just a command that says don't cast a certain spell, then I can put it in when you go off script. What's that?
I don't think that's enough though, because like with assassinations, you're taking like in traditional combat, both sides have their script, and then after the script runs, it's a big question mark. And only the assassin has their script, and they're kitted for the assassination.
Yeah.
By completely denying a script to the other player, you're taking away most of their counterplay.
Well, here's the thing. This is why the mod, like if you're able to make it so certain spells don't get cast off script, then you make it so that spells which are horrible for you to cast turn 1 in assassinations you don't cast, which in general are the buffs. Like even Iron Skin, which you're like, oh, that would be good. No. Iron Skin's a horrible first spell to cast in assassination. If you give people like Earth Gems, and if people have a couple Earth Gems and they make an Earth Elemental, pretty good in assassinations. That'll squash a lot of bugs. So if we have the ability to just, which I do, like, so for the mod I made, it works. I basically made it where the AI won't cast a bunch of spells when they go off script. The problem is that, like, some of the targeting stuff messes up. So, like, Strength of Giants, it'll cast twice on the same guy. That's the only problem. But if they give us the command that says, AI, don't cast off script for AI, like, for combat AI, then I can fix it. But anyway.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, you're still going on the put bodyguards in prey. You're just expecting that prayer is a little bit more tilted in your favor.
Yeah.
Commanders who I wanted to fly and attack rear, but that's never going to happen with spellcasters getting assassinated. They're just going to sit there and cast spells.
That's true. You know, the other thing that would be cool, this would be my first preference, if they gave you a 2-slot assassin script, which normally was like nothing, but then you could put it in and you got to cast 1 spell, and then you got 1 like default afterwards command, like attack or cast spells or whatever. And so there'd still be an advantage for the assassin because they could script more than 1 slot, but then you got to at least do something.
Like, the nations with assassins also pay for them, right? Like, the assassins are, at least for Pan, they're crappy researchers. They're expensive, and they're not particularly useful in combat outside of casting Foul Vapors. Like, you could be building Pans, which are significantly better units, or you could be building troops. Instead, you're spending money on assassins, right? You should be getting some benefit out.
No, you should, but you guys didn't fight, like, so...
Oh, no, I'm not...
If I had water bottles, which I was kind of close to by the end, but if I had water bottles, then it was over for being able to siege any of my forts. Because, like, once you can do swarm with water bottles, then, like, those water elementals would have chewed through all those Chud skin shifters. It would have been just over.
It'd have been an even fight.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. The Chud skin shifters wouldn't have made it, is what I'm trying to say. I'd done swarm, elemental fortitude, and then swarm again, and it'd been, yeah.
Did you use the Vineman necklace initially?
You know, I did. I was so close to getting Mother Oak up for like a while, and so like while I was getting double teamed, I was like, man, if I can just save a few gems here and there and not make Vineman necklaces, I'll be able to get Mother Oak up. But I ended up having to do so many assassinations a turn, I just never had enough gems to do Mother Oak. And then once I had it up, I was ready for like phase 2 with a shit ton of Vinemen. Anyway. Closing thoughts, anybody?
I got clever. I tried to be clever and paid for it.
Yeah, to be honest, the map was heavily biased in my favor with the extra throne and only 1 underwater nation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the extra throne on my cap circle kind of hurt me a bit.
Oh, yeah. I'm really wishing now that I gave up 34 earlier and was like, I'll just keep 29. I don't know if that would have made the deal, but I think I was too greedy too. Like, I knew I needed... In some ways, Vanheim was right. Like, he did have a fair amount of negotiating leverage, just that I was in a 2v1. I probably should have taken worse conditions, but I don't know. I think we were prideful, greedy, and then it ended up catching us all.
I wasn't even offering you a loss. Like, I was just saying, like, you give me back what you took, I give you back what I took. But...
Well, part of me was like, hey, you attacked me and failed, and I am up in territory, so you need to pay for it. That was my emotional ego.
Yeah, you were up in territory the turn we started negotiating, but I took back almost all of those provinces the turn after.
I mean, let's actually look at the score graphs here on this one, because it's going to be kind of even, but like if we look at you...
You had.
I think like
three
you were
provinces
net
above my
down
cap,
after...
and then I took
like
those back.
the best case,
still had
if
the
you look at when
fort.
our war started in the middle, do you see where the war started? Like when my provinces took a big dive when you elfed me? You see the turn before it? If you're looking at provinces?
Lucid's cutting out, right? It's not just me.
Yeah, no, he is.
Oh, sorry. Can y'all hear me? Is it better or is it still bad?
Yeah, better now.
Okay. So if you look at the turn that our war started, you can see when I got elfed. If you're on the province score graph, you can see it went straight down. So if we take the provinces you were at before it, you barely got up to it, and a lot of that was like by the end when we had mostly stopped trading. But like almost for the entirety of the war after the initial elfing campaign, you never got up to the same amount of starting provinces. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like you weren't... The strength of your negotiating, which I didn't really respect, and I probably should have looking back, especially with 90, but... You know, like...
To be honest, I'm surprised you didn't use that as a threat. Like, you're not letting me fort 90, Theranos will just take it.
Well, I was using that as a threat. I was like, look, like, you're clearly throwing the game by not forting 90, and Theranos is just going to take it. Like, you should just... Because ultimately, this is the thing, like, when somebody's getting gangbanged, when they're like 2v1, like, I'm not about to win. I'm just like, guys, if you guys are trying to win by 2v1ing me, like, you shouldn't do it, you know?
To be honest, early on, I was worried about you being able to eke out a quick win, because you had 2 thrones already, and then there was the unclaimed Wayne Russ's cap circle and 90, which you could easily have taken if you'd started to turn that.
I think that's probably the main reason why Russ and I were scared of you, other than the first 2 thrones in the game, I think.
Yeah. No, I think it was a good move, 2v1ing me, but I think, like, honestly, what happened was I just ignored Roos, and then when I finally beat up Vanheim, that was when it, like, was no longer making sense for everybody. But I think before that point, it seemed like it was making sense. And it kept making sense for Roos kind of the whole time. Like, Roos... There's no real reason for Roos to negotiate a nap until I got peace with Vanheim. And even then, I think they were still probably stronger than me.
Yeah, I thought my super combatants were about to come online.
Yeah.
So I thought there was a good chance that I was about to roll you. And so peace was actually a good deal for me. Because that meant I got everything.
Yeah. Hard to say, but could have been. Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining. I'm kind of glad it was quick. I had fun. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great fun.
I'd be up for this again.
It didn't take 3 months this time.
Yeah, thank God. I'm actually really happy it didn't take 3 months. We did it in one time. The last Blitz, like the Trilliax one I just put up, that was like 3 months of us playing. All right. Thanks, everyone. We're going to go ahead and call it, and see y'all next time. Bye.